Hey guys, I'm Tim with Original Strength, and this week I wanted to show you how to add load to the Hindu squat, or I want to show you my favorite way to add load to a Hindu squat. And adding load is simply adding resistance, sometimes in the form of weight or speed or a challenge to your body. I am going to today show you how to add load with a sandbell on your head. And I like the sandbell on your head because the reflexive response to me is a bigger bang for the buck. And all I mean by that is if you and I were standing side by side and I were gonna lean into you, that's kind of adding a load. Now reflexively, so that you don't fall over, you would, without even thinking about it, your body would adjust and make contractions and you would start to find yourself leaning back into me so that I don't push you over. Now, it has to be the appropriate load. So if I were an elephant and you were still you and I leaned against you then, well, no amount of reflexive response is gonna keep you from, well, I'm just gonna topple you over, I'm gonna crush you. So the load has to be appropriate. So you can add too much load, so like too much weight, and we're not gonna get the reflexive response we want. But if we add just enough, we get an awesome reflexive response. All that to say is, I'm gonna use this sandbell, and I'm going to gently add the appropriate load to my body by putting the sandbell on my head. So the bell is leaning against me. Now the reflexive response is that my body wants to lean back and push back against the sandbell, so I grow a little bit taller. And because I have more weight and more input going in through my nervous system gives my body more output in the form of strength. So even though I've just made my body or my head 15 pounds heavier than it otherwise would be, the output now is easier. So my body gives it has more strength. My nervous system ups the amount of strength and power that I have, and it actually makes this easier even though I've put more weight on it. So all of that to say is a little bit of load, appropriate reflexive response. And that's good because it gets your body doing what it naturally does better. Sometimes. It has to be appropriate movement and the appropriate response. Anyway, this is how I like to load up the Hindu squat. And if you don't remember, the Hindu squat, you pull back, you breathe in, you come down, you stand up and you breathe out. The other thing with adding the load onto your head is it makes you have to exercise control. You have to learn control. So now you also have another load in the form of, well, you gotta move steady enough to keep the bag on your head. Otherwise, it gets Willy Wonka and it falls everywhere. Now, back by popular demand, I know some of you like the wave squat or the Hindu squat with the stick. You can also add load and do the same thing with the stick. And again, the reflexive response is your body leans back against the sandbell by Hyperwear. I love these things. But your body leans back against the sandbell and you get more output, more strength going back into the movement. Anyway, that is our tip this week, how to add load to the Hindu squat. Give it a shot. You gotta play with it, find the appropriate load for you. It doesn't take a lot at all. This is only 15 pounds here, 10 pounds, maybe even 5 to 8 to 10, somewhere in there, 15 is all you need. And you'll notice that it will clean up your movement, it'll make it easier. Your output, your expression of the movement will just get better. And that carries over into life when you take the sandbell off your head, especially if you get your repetitions in. Anyway, give that a shot. Let us know what you think. I'm Tim with Original Strength, and we'll see you next time.